Okay, we got a lot of questions we can go through. I actually
right.
got another source of questions too. I dipped into the Facebook fan page for WordPress
Oh, look out.
help as well. So we're happy to help any way we can. So many different ways to ask us questions and so many different resources that we're already providing.
Yeah.
So if you don't catch us live to ask us the question, you can shoot on over to our website and we might have already answered it. So you can check there.
Absolutely. And if you also have other questions that you can't find the answers for, throw them in the description box below of this video, because we get all of them, and Jason and I will fake it till we make it. We will figure out the answer for you, okay?
Okay, so a lot of questions here. Let's start with an easy one. This one's easy to recommend.
All right.
This is from Ruth. I don't want to mispronounce her last name.
It's okay, just Ruth.
York?
It's okay.
Okay. She says, where can I find photos of kitchen sliders? So this is not necessarily a WordPress-centric question, but it's an easy question to answer.
Okay.
And we have a lot of recommendations for sources for what seems to be stock photos. Is this maybe what she's looking for?
I'm thinking so. Maybe you're looking for some stock photography.
So I always recommend photodune.net because it's already part of the Envato marketplace.
There you go. Typically $1, right?
Yeah.
Starts at
anywhere
$1.
between $1 to $5 per photo. And what I like about that is typically you're already using the Envato marketplace anyhow for one reason or another, whether it's where you get your themes or if you're getting plugins, some premium plugins through there. So why not just use it's a pretty awesome source of stock photos. Just use it so you can have all your downloads in one place.
So photodune.net, spelled D-U-N-E, so P-H-O-T-O-D-U-N-E.net. Or there's also Photo Dollar Club, I believe. Google that one. That's pretty good too, around the same dollar range. So what you're wanting to search for, though, just to give you a quick heads up, what you're looking for is called stock photography or royalty-free images. All right, you certainly do not want to go to Google and just try to find an image to use. So be sure whenever you're searching around for images that's legal to buy a license to use, you're looking for royalty-free images or stock photography.
Yeah,
all right.
And nothing's going to replace, if you can get real photography, I mean, don't always fall back on stock photos. I mean, it gets pretty easy just to throw stock photos in there, but if you or if you could convince your client to actually get real photography of the business, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I notice the difference immediately. You'll see the same, especially when it comes to certain industries like spas, for example.
Sure.
You start seeing the same.
Any medical field, right?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the same doctor that's staring there like this. Yeah, real photos, even if the quality isn't quite as good as what you get from stock photos, people know the difference, and I think it helps.
And Google knows the difference too. They love original images. So if you can, like Jason's saying, we suggest going with original photography as long as it's good enough quality that it's not distorting.
Exactly.
So if you have any questions, please be sure to live chat with us right now on our YouTube channel, or you can tweet to us. We'll be monitoring that as well. And we also have Grace running our camera right now on Periscope. So you can tune in there and kind of see a behind the scenes angle of our entire random movie set here that we had built.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we've got more questions that Jason's found for us in our YouTube channel as people have listed their questions on all of our videos.
Yes, this is from photographyandcoffee.com.
Okay.
I might want to visit that URL.
Sounds like
it seems
a
pretty awesome.
Cool website.
But they have a quick question. Is making a child theme necessary if you're using a custom CSS plugin to store your custom CSS changes?
So fantastic question, and the simple answer is no. That's the easy answer. You do not need to go to the extent of creating a child theme. If all you're doing is making a few fun changes inside of CSS using a custom CSS box. If your author has been generous and given you that, perfect, use that area. If your author kind of missed that opportunity to give you that, there's a plugin for that. So go grab a plugin called Custom CSS and you can tinker in there and do all of your overriding for CSS. However, there are times that you need child themes.
Yes, if you're going to be doing any changes to your PHP or the core template files, you got to child theme it. Also, if there are some themes that have custom CSS boxes inherent in the theme options, I don't always trust them because sometimes you'll update the theme and it might reset that box. So just having maybe your own plugin or use a child theme. A lot of your developers that are worth their salt are going to have one included in the download
Always
file.
nice. Heck yeah.
If you see it, go ahead and install it. That way, whenever you update your main theme, you're not concerned if you're losing any of the changes that you may have put in place. But I definitely do like that plugin because can't go wrong. Any changes that you make to the theme are not going to affect that plugin. Just make sure that when you update your theme, that you need to understand some of their class names may have changed. They shouldn't do that.
Hopefully not, but it could happen. It could.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen. The other thing you want to do is always have a backup in place, right? So we always stress that. Be sure you have a backup in place that's not only backing up your content, but also your database, right? So way to go. Any questions that you guys have, be sure to send them out to us on Periscope, our Twitter, or our live chat right now as we have more and more people tuning in. So thanks for being here with us. We're excited to bring this to you every single Tuesday, 11 a.m. Central. You don't need to answer the phone, it's okay. 11 a.m. Central. We're here answering WordPress questions. Jason is our lead developer, and I'm typically the SEO gal and the front-end developer. So this is kind of what we do.
Yeah, we have another question from John Boyd. I understand there's a lot of hesitation that people have when it comes to changing themes. They're worried that stuff is going to go wrong.
Okay.
And his question is how to get a page to display properly after he changes the themes. So he also wanted to know how to change the themes. He was having a hard time understanding that, from what I understand.
Okay.
So we have a pretty great, oops. Let me get that scene to change correctly so you guys can see our computer. And yeah, there we go. Okay. We have a pretty great example website, dipandoo.com.
Yeah.
I love that you have that URL.
It's
That's
random.
great.
It's our staging playground so we can show tutorials and not mess up a live site.
This is great, but to change your theme, that's pretty simple. Just go into the Appearance tab, and you can change your themes right here. Now, it'll show you what theme you have active, and it'll show you what themes you have available. If it's a new install, you're probably going to see a lot of these 20s, like 2015, 2014, 2013, basically going all the way back to when you installed WordPress.
The beginning of time.
Yes. And 2016 should be coming out here
Woohoo!
shortly. But you also see any custom themes that you've installed, and you can just hit activate and it'll change it. But with doing that, you need to realize that, one, you're not blowing up your site.
No.
Your content is still going to be there. The pages and your posts and even your media library, all that's stored in a database that has little to do with what theme you're using. Your theme is just how it displays and organizes that information. But you will lose some things. You will lose, let's see, your menu could change because that's stored within the theme.
You'll just have to go reset it.
Right. Because the theme tells where the menu is placed, so when you change themes, it doesn't know where you want that placed again, so you got to keep that in mind. And anything that's stored within theme options, some are pretty advanced. So I mean, if you're doing a lot of work, let's say you have Avada installed, there's like a plethora of things within theme options. That's not going to carry over to the new theme. So keep that in mind. So yes, you do have the potential of your pages looking radically different.
Absolutely. Especially if you're using sidebars or widgets, because those two will disappear on you and you'll just have to go back in, potentially recreate them, or hopefully they've moved to the inactive area and you're able to just drag those widgets back up into assigned widget spaces, so your sidebars or your footers. Those are just a few things that should need some tending to after you switch themes.
Shortcodes that were built into one theme are not going to transfer to the other.
Yeah.
So if you're using a lot of shortcode, if your pages are very shortcode heavy, that's built within the theme. So some themes use the same shortcodes, like if they're using Visual Composer. That means that potentially those two themes will work very well from one to the other. But it's important to realize you're not losing your content, but you are going to have to rebuild the way it looks most likely.
An option for you also could just be to do this kind of tinkering and fun experimenting on a staging environment. So if you had a hosting company like WP Engine, who we advocate for, they have a one-click area for you to duplicate your website with one click. It makes an identical duplicate of your website and lets you go in and tinker and play with and change themes and do everything you want without breaking your current website. So all your visitors see that live working website while you're playing around on the staging site. The amazing thing is once you've finished that and you love the new creation that you've got, you click one more button and that staging site now becomes your live site. So you might want to look into investing in some sort of option like that for you.
Yeah, it saves a lot of heartache. We really love that functionality here. I got another question. This is actually from the WP Help and Share Facebook page that you guys can go check out. This is a great resource. I'm a member of this. I always like, 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm on my phone, see a question pop up, and I'm like, I totally know the answer to that, and I'll answer that.
That's
it's
all
a good
part
resource.
of WordPress community, though, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's a core a staple to what WordPress is all about community and helping each other. So what's the question that you found, Jason?
Okay, so they want to know what's the best calendar and appointment plugin for WordPress, free or not. So I thought maybe we might have a recommendation for that. But this is also a good talking point because whenever clients come to us and ask for an appointment kind of functionality on their website, we always have kind of the tendency to have them rethink that. Whenever you have appointments on your site, you're generally showing times or not showing available times that could otherwise lose a potential conversion because let's say a person for a spa wants to be there Friday at 11:30 and they see that that's not an option, they might no longer try and contact you and they might think you're too busy. Whereas if you say, call me for an appointment or email for an appointment, you then are able to be on the phone with that person or in communication with that person and say, no, we do not have this time available. But I do have this time available, and I'd love to help you. The chances to convert somebody is much higher. So, first recommendation before we talk about any plugins that we like for this is to evaluate whether you really need that or not.
Absolutely, and I would also like to chime in here and say that if anybody's watching right now and you're over on Periscope or if you're on our YouTube channel, would you consider if you've used a calendar plugin that you like, free or not, if it's premium, it doesn't matter, will you tweet that out to us or send it over to us in our live chat or Periscope it over to us that we have some ideas to throw out here? Who is this?
Francois.
Oh, look out.
I want to say it like that. Francois.
Okay. So obviously there are some free options for you. There's Evently, that's one of the plugins out there that is free to use. So you have calendar options. Now, when you're looking specifically for an appointment plugin, I think you might run into two different options. You're going to be looking, appointments would be a totally different type of plugin versus just a calendar option. So, appointment plugins.
What's the one that we used for a while? It was a premium plugin. It was a paid one. What was that one called that we used for a while?
For appointments specifically?
Yeah, was it Evently or was it?
Evently is typically what we use, but that was more of a calendar option. Most of our clients that use any sort of an appointment, we've got a couple of clients that do spas and even counseling. We have a couple of counselors that wanted to have appointments available. They're actually using third-party plugins like Scheduledicity and what's another one? I'm going to think of it here in a minute. Something comparable to that, though, where they're actually being able to take payments online to reserve that spot as somebody books their appointment. So
I have a gym that's a client of ours that uses Front Desk as a third-party option.
There you go.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of different options, but first evaluate whether it potentially could help you or is it going to lose clients for you inadvertently.
Absolutely. Another thing that we have is a doctor's office that runs an appointment option, and what they do is just basically ask. They have like a gravity form sitting there that people can choose if they want an AM or PM option, and then they just write a quick message of what sort of appointment they were looking for, and that's how the office actually gathers their leads and then immediately communicates with that client or that customer or that patient and tells them, okay, this space will be available. Does this work for you? So you have some options there.
A good way that I try and bring this up with clients is to first ask, are you getting so many requests for appointments that your entire day is spent pre-qualifying these leads or not?
Right.
If the answer is yes, I get hundreds of emails a day, then maybe putting a plugin that might pre-qualify them based off of what time they're looking for is a great way to kind of help you narrow down your time.
Absolutely.
But if that's not the case, and you're getting maybe like one lead a day off of that, well, let's get your phone ringing more, okay? And when it becomes a problem, then we'll try and pre-qualify more.
Way to go.
Okay, so another good question here, also from the WordPress Help and Share page, is from Bridget. She's very new to WordPress and she wants to get a post to show up on a specific page of her blog, and she has about 5 page tabs and categories. So she has a lot of blog content.
Okay.
She's trying to put it on a page, and I think you have a resource for this, don't you?
I do, yeah. I actually just did a video. Sometimes those of us that have been in WordPress for a really long time think that total beginner level stuff, we just don't think that people would have that question. But you know what? Jason and I both were right where you are, Bridget. We totally understand that sometimes what we think might be intuitive is kind of hidden. So we had a total beginner just like you ask us pretty much that same question, and I created a video that talks about putting posts on a page, how to do that, how to even put one specific post if you wanted to inside of a page. So let's just put the link to that right
absolutely.
here. We'll put the link to that video right here so you can take off and go watch that video, and hopefully that'll answer all your questions. If you have questions beyond that, be sure to put it in the description box below and we'll try to get back to you on it.
Okay, and I have another question. This could lead off to a good topic.
Okay.
I'm not sure if we got plenty of time. This is from Michaela Kennedy, and she asks, is there a way to have custom headers on certain pages? And there is a way to do that.
There is. There's a plug-in for that.
There's a plug-in for that. There's also certainly a way to do it on the back end if we want to get really advanced.
If you want to go crazy nerd coder, Michaela, you can do it on the back end. And you would, of course, need a child theme in order to do it.
What interested me about this question is her reasoning. She wanted to change the header completely for certain demographics.
Oh, we've totally had this happen before. I've had a few clients where they might have a commercial portion of their sales where they really need to speak a certain language, and then maybe they have a government portion of their sales where they want it to speak to and visually be appealing to that demographic as well. So we've certainly seen that happen.
Seen it happen with phone numbers where that's all they want to change is the area code.
Good point. There's a couple of different ways you can approach this. My suggestion would be the possibility of having somebody build custom page templates for you. And they would speak to different style sheets that would allow those variations that you're looking for.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a way to do this on the back end, and it's with PHP files and building different page templates. But more so, the reasoning of why she wants to do this is what interested me, and I wanted to speak toward the resource of WP Engine and hosts like it. We don't just want to talk about WP Engine, even though we advocate for them.
Yep.
It's called Geo-Targeting. And there are hosts that allow the ability for you to change your website based off of where the person is coming in from.
It's pretty cool. Way nerdy.
I think that's really powerful stuff. You know, so if we wanted to use that, which we do, and we will get into it on our own website, we say we live on Taco's Big Red in WordPress. So wouldn't it be cool if somebody from Denver came in, and here on the front we say, you are from Denver. Denver is awesome. And all of a sudden you're able to speak to someone based off where they're coming from. And I think this is a really powerful thing.
That would get my
a good
attention.
subject to talk about is changing your website based off of who is looking at it. And geo-targeting is a great way to do that. So yeah, that's a good subject. And are there any plugins that you can geo-target? I know it's done at the host level from what I've experienced.
It is done at the host level, so you would have to be sure that your hosting provider would allow something like that to take place. But it does play off of your visitor's IP address, so it doesn't require a whole lot of nerd code because your hosting provider kind of implements the nerd code for you. What it does require, though, is you to actually create the multiple content pages, you know, the different things that the IP address would then render whenever they're visiting your site. It's some opportunities for you to just very specifically speak the language of your target market. Great question, Michaela. Thanks for sending that in.
Lauren says hi.
Lauren, what up, Lauren? Lauren is, we'll give a shout out to Tiny Roar Creative. Lauren is a fantastic entrepreneur here in town, a small team of just dynamic designers, and they're even moving into interior design. I mean, these kids are mind-blowing talented with their creativity. So a shout out to Lauren. What up?
Hey, Lauren.
Way to go. Thanks for tuning in. You guys, we have about 10 minutes left in the broadcast, and we want to get your questions in. So those of you that have been loyal and hanging out on our YouTube channel, thanks for being here with us. Those of you that are on Periscope, please be sure to send out any questions that you have, and we appreciate the hearts. If those of you that are on YouTube, you want to check us out on Periscope, you get a little bit more behind the scenes of our whole setup here. You get to see the wires running everywhere, and you get to find out that I'm actually drinking whiskey here in this glass.
It's true.
Okay.
Well,
here we go.
Hey, makes things interesting. I got another question here from Daniel. This is from our YouTube channel. He says, I'm building a website with WooCommerce, and it has a web shop. He bought the Visual Composer plugin, but he's having trouble understanding which themes he should download, which of them work with Visual Composer, and he really needs our help with that.
Well, hey, Daniel, it sounds like you're working on a really involved project, having a shopping cart system as well as fun WooCommerce stuff, fun Visual Composer stuff. I'd be interested to see kind of overall what your end goals are as to how to really guide you correctly. So if you can, shoot us a kind of a follow-up question or an answer to this question. Kind of what is your goal on the site? Is it to sell products? Is it to sell memberships? What are you trying to ultimately do, and who's your target market? Then we can help you. But as for what theme is compatible with Visual Composer, there are a lot of themes out there that actually come with Visual Composer, so you would know right away that they're compatible with it. So I would look for those.
Yes. When you're looking at a theme, let's go to our favorite website in the world for themes, which is Theme Forest. I did .com, but it should make it a .net.
Yeah,
that's smart.
Good.
And whenever you're looking at a theme, let's go ahead and look at a WordPress theme here for. Let's make sure we get something for e-commerce, so it's kind of relevant.
Okay.
And we'll just go to the first one. Well, no, not a book. Cool Baby sounds pretty cool. So we're going to click in here, and it should, if they're worth their salt, they're going to say what it's compatible with, what it comes with. It should be one of their talking points, because usually Visual Composer is one of those additions to the theme that they definitely want to market.
Absolutely.
This one, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it says it comes with the Revolution slider.
It says drag and drop page builder. So
a drag and drop. So if they say drag and drop page builder, it's typically one maybe they built on their own.
Good call.
These are the kind of details you want to look for. I don't know if you can do a search per se for themes that have Visual Composer installed on them.
I would also say, though, that if you did actually purchase a license for Visual Composer, the authors of that plugin are at your disposal. You can connect with them and say, hey, what themes do you guys suggest? But most of the time, I really haven't run into any themes that actually conflict with Visual Composer unless you're buying some theme that is crazy robust with a ton of other plugins, or perhaps another page builder plugin. You might see a few errors or snags running that way.
And I'd also ask why Visual Composer is so important. And also, I mean, Visual Composer is one of those plugins that can be vastly different from theme to theme, because the theme builder can actually build toward Visual Composer, have their shortcode installed installed in Visual Composer. So if you go from one theme to the next, you could be using shortcode, and you can be using elements that simply aren't available from one theme to the next. So I have to speak toward Corey's question: why are you doing it? What is your website about? And maybe choose a theme that is built toward that purpose. And I'd start with functionality. You know, you're doing
absolutely.
An e-commerce shop. You know, what kind of functionality are you looking for? Are you selling digital products? You know, just work from there and trying to find a theme that facilitates that functionality and that look that you're going for, rather than only looking for things with Visual Composer, just because they can be so vastly different between themes.
Awesome. Thanks so much for all the questions, you guys. We're really excited to do this every single Tuesday at 11 a.m. Jason and I are hanging out here. Grace is manning our Periscope feed from the behind the scenes. We have just a few more minutes left. We typically do this for 30 minutes starting 11 a.m. Tuesdays Central Time. So you're more than welcome to send in any questions that you might have on the YouTube live chat. On Twitter, do we have the Twitter feed up in case anybody's tweeting to us?
I can certainly bring it up.
Periscope, if you're catching us over on Periscope, you're more than welcome to send us some hearts and shoot us some questions. We'd love to help you out with anything that you're having issues with when it comes to WordPress, or SEO, or even social media marketing. We'd love to help you out.
There's your great question coming in through
Percy,
Twitter.
Hi, how you doing? Good to have you tune in with us. Thanks for tweeting to us a question. What's up today?
So he wants to know, is WebTegrity going to open enrollments for advanced theme building WordPress classes?
Way to go. Percy, as far as I know, you are not local, so that means we would have to do something online for you, and that's on this guy. So let's put him on the spot right now and ask him that question. Are you going to do anything advanced?
I certainly want to head in that direction. I mean, I love doing the online classes. So far, I've only done the one, which is very simple, and then I want to build up from there. So I think it depends on the demand. I'm worried about advanced stuff because there's so many questions that come in when I'm doing the classes live.
Sure.
That you know, it's going to be a challenge to do it online, but it's something a direction I certainly want to head into.
He's specifically talking about theme building too, so he wants you to, he wants to
get
learn how to code from scratch. Awesome themes. I love that.
Yeah, which is exciting. There's a lot of online resources that are out there. I had to learn how to code from scratch, and luckily I did have a little bit of a mentor here at WebTegrity when I first came here.
Let's give him a shout out because he actually has a, we're talking about Wayne McWilliams. He actually has a whole series on his website that you can walk through on how to build a theme from scratch. And it's totally for free. You can check that out over on devsolutions.com. Ha! There you go. WP for WordPress, devsolutions.com. Jason's going to bring it up for you, Percy. So just do a quick search for theme, the word theme on here, and you'd probably find his tutorial on how to build custom WordPress themes.
And this is advanced stuff. So, I mean, this isn't just, you know, how do I change a page or a theme? Like, this is like getting nerdy.
Way
with
nerdy.
WordPress.
And you can find out all sorts of things. He doesn't only have that one tutorial on here. You can do a quick search on this website and find all sorts of really great advanced opportunities for those of you that want to go crazy nerd coder.
Good old Wayne.
Shout out to Wayne. Way to go. We're getting all sorts of love today.
I
Tiny
know,
Work
man.
Creative and to Wayne over at Anderson Marketing Group here in town. So thanks so much, you guys, for tuning in. We've got a few people hanging out. We've got one more question here.
I think we got time for this question.
Yeah.
This is from Satish Paskaran, and is asking, how can I make a post list according to its categories?
Fantastic. Yeah. A post list according to its categories. So you're going to play off of categories. Obviously, you want to be sure that you have all your posts assigned to categories. And so let me put this right in my head. So we want to display a certain set of categories and display those posts. Is that
Correct.
what we're thinking?
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to go into dip and do and do it up?
Okay. Do you feel comfortable with the PC?
Why not? I don't know. It's a PC.
Okay.
And we have to do it in 2 minutes. We can do this.
Okay.
All right. So really what you're just going to go over and do is go into your themes menus area. And if we're wanting to create an actual list of posts, you can do this a couple of different ways. You can create a brand new menu if you wanted to, and we can just say posts, or a specific category if you wanted to. Ooh, good Lord. Category. There you go. Have to sing in order to spell. This is good. Okay. You have a couple options here on the left side of your menu options. You have posts in here. You also have categories in here. If you're not seeing these options listed inside of your menus area, you'll want to go up here to the right-hand corner, drop open this drawer for screen options, and be sure that posts is selected and categories is selected so that you can choose those to go inside of your menu. So you can do, of course, your different categories. You can select all and drop them in if you wanted all your categories listed. And of course, as somebody clicks on one of those then, it would dynamically display all the posts that would be visible inside those categories. So that's one way to do it. Or another way would be for you to name this a specific category name and then just go pull all those posts that are assigned to that and display all their names right here. And then once you save this menu, you would go add it to a widget area. So let's stay on the page for a second and save the menu. You would just go in your widgets area, and as your theme allows, you would have space to add it into your footer or a sidebar, or of course even into your header if you wanted to add that navigation into your header.
With the custom menu option.
Yeah, with the custom menu option. So you just go grab custom menu, drag it over, drop it in, and choose that particular menu that we just created. Click save, and that would render that list. I hope that helps. I hope that's what you're asking for. If not, be sure to just comment on the bottom of this video and we'll respond back and let's make a tutorial video for you if that doesn't answer your question.
Yeah, because I mean, there's more that we could go into depth with that. Sometimes when you do this list, it needs styling. It might just look like an unordered list and not that pretty, and then you got to dig into a little bit of custom CSS, which makes things get interesting. I think that's all the time we have for today. Love all the questions that we've been getting.
Thank you so much, y'all. We really appreciate the content, and we love helping.
Yep, there's a lot of different ways you can ask questions of us, whether it's through YouTube here, Periscope, if you're watching live, you can ask questions, or just send hearts because you love us. There's Twitter, there's our website itself that you can ask questions.
Or even our Facebook page. Jump over there. So like us on Facebook and throw your questions on there. We'd love to help you out. Jason's the involved nerd coder. I'm a little bit more of a front end and SEO gal. So however we can help you, tune in with us every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Central, and we'll answer some questions for you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye, you guys.